Hi, Sophia.
The list of requirements from our side.
Hi, we have the regional director online, I believe. Hello, fellas. I can't hear anything. Oh.
Hello, good day. Welcome. Thank you for being here with us and for giving us the time. We know that it's not easy to get onto your calendar. I would like to, so my name is Chiedza. I'm from the African Leadership University. I remember you from last time when you addressed the fellows, so welcome back. I think that they're really excited to hear from you. If it's okay, I would like to start by introducing you.
Yeah, just hold on. Just hold on. Do you see the regional director online?
Oh, I thought she'd already said hi.
No, that was just me warming the seat for her.
She is not online.
Yeah, she told me she connected and she wanted to know who's talking and to introduce her. So let me see what's happened with her connection.
All right, no problem.
Thanks.
You told me when. Okay. I think. So we have about an hour.
Hello. Hi, the regional director is now online. Do you see her?
Okay. Good afternoon. I mean, good morning in New York.
Yeah, I think, yes.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, I think that's.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Good afternoon.
Are you ready for us to get started? You can let us know.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Welcome and thank you so much for making time for us today. I'm here with. Oh, okay. Regional Director, we cannot see you. If you are able to turn your camera on, that would be really great. Fantastic. All right. Great. Hi there.
Sorry about the interference, but I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, perfect. Hi there. My name is Chedza. I'm the Associate Director of the BL program at the African Leadership University. I hope you remember we met virtually last year. And was just so happy to have you here. If it's okay with you, I will start by introducing you. And then the order of events, if you saw, we have some fellows that would like to share some testimonials of their experiences so far, and then we'll go straight into a Q&A. Is that okay with you?
Sounds good.
Okay. All right. So I'm sure you all know Regional Director Ahunna, but I think it's important for me to introduce her with all the accolades. So Miss Ahunna Eziakonwa is UNDP Assistant Administrator and Director, Regional Bureau for Africa at the rank of Assistant Secretary General. So she leads over 4,000 staff, implementing a 1.2 billion annual development program in 46 African countries. She's deeply passionate about equality, inclusion, reshaping narratives on Africa, mobilizing for youth entrepreneurs, and the dignity of Africa's people. Her vision: Africa's Promise, the UNDP renewed strategic offer in Africa, employs an opportunity lens to development practice in Africa. She established the Africa Influences for Development to ensure that Africa's money works for Africa's development. The Africa Young Women Leaders Initiative, Africa Innovates magazine, and the Africa Borderlands Center. She leads UNDP Africa Socioeconomic Response and Recovery from COVID-19. And she also co-chairs the UN Africa Regional Collaborative Platform, which oversees implementation of the Secretary General's regional UN reform. She spent 10 years as UN resident and humanitarian coordinator in Ethiopia, Uganda, and Lesotho. As chief at UN OCHA, Africa, she led responses to natural disasters, emergencies, and transitions to recovery. Before the UN, she worked for Initiatives of Change, serving as international coordinator of its Creators of Peace Women's Initiative. She's an alumni of Columbia University School of International Public Affairs, Harvard Kennedy School Executive Program, and has a bachelor's education from the University of Benin, Nigeria. So that was the introduction. Accolades upon accolades in multiple different areas and fields. I would like to hand it over to one of our fellows. I will start off with Atika. I think all the three fellows, before you speak, please say who you are, where you're stationed, etc. Please go ahead, Atika.
Thank you. Hello, Ms. Ahunna. My name is Atika Najar. I'm originally from Libya, and I'm deployed at the UNDP Madagascar office station. So thank you for taking time for us. I am very grateful to share these past events and this training with all my sisters. I wanted to talk about Youth Connect first. Youth Connect has been for me an opportunity to observe and witness the incredible potential of African youth, seeing all these young people sharing common ambitions and in entrepreneurship and the will to develop the African continent has been very inspiring for me. Even though I'm still young, I told myself that at their age, I was not as committed and as confident to even share, to even dare to speak up and talk about my own needs in terms of politics, infrastructure, or educations. So witness that, it make me think about, allow me to think and look back on the first 6 months of my fellowship experience and how my perspective has completely changed in certain things. First of all, I realized that as a young person, in a young woman, I had an opportunity and the tools with this fellowship to decide my future as a leader in my right way. And during this week of leadership training, we saw that there is many ways of being a leader. Being sent for 1 year to a country that you don't know the culture, the office, the work culture, the different practices as a single woman has been a challenge, honestly. And just to see myself adapting, opening to people, dealing with complex situations, and all the while keeping positive, I thought, wow, I'm becoming a leader. Like in my own way, I'm starting to see how this fellowship is transforming me into this confident and adaptive woman that I didn't expect to be. And I think that what the fellowship is all about that, I think, the final goal. And learning how to be a leader in adversity. And that's something that I honestly wasn't prepared for and didn't expect to experience. And I think that's something that needs to be said to the next cohort, because by talking with all my sisters here, I realized that we all had the same experience on that point, that you have to be able to stand up to adversity and to situation and culture that you completely don't know. So some lessons for the next cohort that I will give it to share more information to the candidates about the mental aspects of the experience, on the fact that they should have the mental capacity to adapt in a new country, not to feel alone, because unfortunately, this is a feeling that we all have had at some point, to be able to be empathic while being firm in our decisions, because in some country, for example, in Madagascar, you can be converted to some situation, you can see poverty, maybe you never experience this type of situation, but you can be sent to some duty station where you can see poverty, and you have to be ready to accept all of that. And this is something that should be added for the next cohort. And this is at the same time the splendor of the fellowship, and at the same time its complexity and its difficulty. So here I wanted to share this part of my experience and what I got out. What I got out of it, especially in terms of leadership. Of course, we learn technical skills and professional experience, but leadership is also the life experience, the one we have with others, that make us a woman leader, and especially an African woman leader. And coming from a country like Libya, when I had a very few roles, models as a Libyan woman to refer to, and today to see myself implement everything and being so adaptive, and just to be able to speak up for myself in front of you and in front of you, Miss Ahunna, I'm so proud of myself as a young African woman. Thank you.
Okay. I think that this could, we're just going to move on to the second person and the third, and then perhaps after that you can give a little bit of an address and a response to all three of them. Is that all right?
That's good. That's good.
Great. All right. So I'd like to introduce Priscilla next. Priscilla.
Thank you. Thank you. Hello, Miss Ahunna. So my name is Priscilla Platt. I am from Madagascar, and I'm currently positioned in Kinshasa in the DRC. Very happy to be here. Very glad to have this opportunity to talk to you and be with the other fellows for the second time. This is like really a moment when we get to share what these first 6 months look like and how we grew from the moment of the induction. So I wanted to really follow like a timeline as I'm like sharing my experience, and maybe that can be of help to your team and the country offices and, you know, all the stakeholders in this program. So the induction week for us was really like a way to get to work, to really get familiar with the UN system, with UNDP. So we felt like we had it, we got it, we were ready to go. And then I'm speaking for myself, and maybe some of us will, you know, will relate. But I felt like maybe the country office could have been more prepared to welcome us, as in the first like on the logistical aspect of it could have been like a little more communicated within the office in itself. And also there's the I'm sorry, another like consideration, which is the non-staff status that we have, that can be kind of confusing for the teams out there, because then they are hesitant in giving us responsibilities because they don't really know where we fit in. And maybe it would be nice to clarify what we're here for, and have maybe an entire induction given to the country offices and our supervisors. And also in some countries, we do have gender issues, as we all know, and it can be reflected within the offices themselves. So that would be a question for me, like how do we engage the office like more effectively and more, yeah, in alignment with what we want to do in the field. And then if budget allows, because I know this is all very tricky to organize and to plan. Some of us, I mean, from the sharing of experiences that we got to do these past few days, some of us only feel like they fit in their team now. So they feel like they have to catch up on the first 6 months that they potentially, they were like finding themselves. So if an extension of the program for the next cohort would be possible, so that they have more time to integrate their team, and then also more time to transition until departure, that would be also maybe useful to consider. And so, yeah, these were just the few remarks that I had from my own experience and from the conversations that I had. But just to get it back to Kinshasa, the DRC, and my CEO, personally, I'm having a really, I've been growing so much on so many levels. I'm working in governance, working more specifically in the electoral elections. So that involves everyone, that involves the government, that involves all the, you know, women groups, youth groups, the CSOs, the CENI, a lot of, so I got to explore that partnership aspect of, you know, what we do at UNDP. So that's been great. And that, so to go back to the Youth Connect that we experienced last week, that was a great moment for me to meet with the young Congolese leaders. And we got to actually, you know, come up with like initiatives. And we said, okay, you know, let's see each other when we're back in Kinshasa. So that was like a good connection for me. And yes, I'm always grateful for the learning process and the healing process as well. And yes, that's it for me. I'm very, very proud to be here as well. And very proud of like whoever is doing very great in here, like very, very proud of that. Thank you.
Thank you, Priscilla. Thank you so much. All right, we're going to pass it over to Aja. So we do have limited time. So yeah, Aja. Oh, please.
Good afternoon, Ms. Ahunna. My name is Aja Si. I'm from Senegal, and I'm based in Addis Ababa at the Regional Service Center for Africa within the regional program team. I want to start by just reflecting on what it means to me to be part of this fellowship. And what's most powerful is that I can be a part of something that demonstrates to others that there are people who are willing to invest in African people, who are willing to invest in young people, who are willing to invest in women. And that's mainly thanks to your leadership that we can be here and that we can communicate that to the rest of the world. And we can be ambassadors to begin and to continue a legacy of building transformational leadership. And so we thank you. I think I can speak on behalf of everybody for taking this initiative and for allowing us to be a part of that. So that's first. Secondly, hearing Atika and Priscilla speak, I honestly have to say I'm quite moved ever since we landed in Addis 6 months ago. And now our sharing of experiences just makes me feel extremely and profoundly proud of every single woman in this room. Because I know that the journey has not been simple and we've all faced our challenges and wins. But the fact that everybody has shown a certain level of resilience, adaptation, and continue to excel in each and every one of their roles makes me extremely, extremely proud to be a part of this fellowship and to be amongst these women and call them my peers. So that's something I felt like I needed to say to my sisters and to also say to you, Ms. Ahunna. Excuse me. And lastly, because I know your time is limited and I want to keep this short. As I mentioned, I'm based in Addis in Ethiopia. For those of you who don't know, Addis is also called the African political capital. And on day one of my fellowship assignment, I was told we're going to the AU and we have a meeting with the Conflict Management Directorate at the African Union. And that should have been a foreshadowing to what this fellowship journey was going to be like for me, because it's truly been a journey of unexpected twists and turns, and it's taken me to unexpected places. From the halls of the AU, it's taken me to Ghana, it's brought me to Kigali, and at each and every encounter, it's brought me with people, with ideas, with solutions and tools that continue to inspire me and hopefully project us and catalyze us to be the leaders that will be well positioned and well equipped to address the world's problems. We're well aware of those problems, everything ranging from health, education to climate. And I recall a few years ago, a lecture I attended by Angela Davis, who is well known for her fight against injustice, against oppression. But one thing she said that always remained with me is that all of those fights become nullified if we don't even have a planet to fight on. And the way we are depleting our resources and the greed and the irrationality behind it is something that we should all be heavily invested in. And I believe that we are. So I will keep it short and stop there. And just to reiterate once again, our sincere gratitude and our renewed commitment to continue to make you proud, to make UNDP proud, to make our communities proud. Thank you very much.
Okay, I think we would love to hand it over to you, Ms. Ahunna, and then maybe some Q&A after, if you have time.
Actually, is it possible to hear from more fellows? I think this was more a sharing circle to really give me a chance to hear about your experiences in the last 6 months. That will be really helpful, and we can have a deeper session on another occasion. But just now, since you're all together, it'd be great to hear more voices from you guys.
Right. Hello, Madam Ahunna. Thank you so much for this opportunity and for your time. I'm really looking forward to hearing more of what everyone else will have to say. My name is Gloria Nyangie. I'm originally from Kenya, based in Lilongwe, Malawi, UNDP Malawi Country Office. So I was actually discussing this with one of the fellows today, which is how flexible you have to be when you work in the UN system, and you have to be ready for any opportunity that will come up. So I put that into practice earlier this year when I got this opportunity. I found out really close to the date that I was due to be deployed about the opportunity. So I had a very short amount of time, which was 48 hours. So it's just a lesson of how you should be open to opportunities and take on tasks and be ready to grab onto any opportunity and don't let any opportunity go. So that's my lesson for these past 6 months. Thank you.
Hello, Madam Ahunna. My name is Bumbe. I am from Kenya, but posted in Cameroon. So working with Jean-Luc and the team has been quite an interesting experience for me, because I remember like when I heard that I was posted in Cameroon, my first worry was about the language and how I'll be able to like settle in to a very different country compared to the context I'm used to in East Africa. But I must say that in Cameroon, I've been able to learn a lot and also like shift my perspective, because initially I studied international relations, then disaster management. So I thought maybe I would be working on the areas of maybe environment or be working towards conflict resolution, but I'm working on gender, and working on the gender within the UNDP context can be a little bit different, but also it has given me opportunities to be in the field and interact with young women who are doing amazing things, especially around the conflicts, which have continued to affect Cameroon. Just for context, is that it's a very different country whereby we have 3 conflicts in the West, in the Northwest and Southwest, and in the far North, which have very negative impacts on the livelihoods of women. And I'm glad to have these opportunities whereby we don't really approach gender from feminist approach, which is equally very good, but we also approach it from a policy perspective, whereby in the last 6 months, we've worked on national action plans on gender-based violence, another action plan on FGM, and also we are currently towards completing the national gender policy, something which is very interesting because for us young women, it's very hard for us to be engaged in those kind of conversations whereby we are able to really contribute to discussions and policies which are able to transform lives of other people. And it's much gratitude to you for giving us this kind of opportunities whereby in as much as in not our home country, we are able to step in and contribute our knowledge towards that. So thank you so much.
Good morning, Ms. Ahunna. My name is Buitumelo Habangidze. I'm from Botswana, but based in South Africa. Okay. This fellowship is a great opportunity. It has given me room to grow. I've gone on numerous missions. Coming from a technical background, I've had little experience in project management, but going to the South Africa country office, it has given me like a broad overview of project management and oversight. I've worked on projects from energy projects to biodiversity to transboundary water management projects. And it has given me an opportunity to work on projects that create impact for communities. We uplift communities and empower the youth and women in their communities. And as such, I'm grateful for this opportunity. Given my background, the little experience that I have in the private sector, I had always identified problems in the community, but couldn't really do much because I was in the private sector about it. But being in UNDP, it gives me the opportunity to actually do something about it. We create concept notes, we address solutions and actually create impact that matter in the community. And they are always grateful for that with the stakeholders that we're working with. So thank you.
Come on, I know you all have so much to say. Go ahead. Don't be shy.
Hello, Ms. Ahunna. I'd like to thank you for taking this time to speak to us and listen to us. My name is Eda Ninyoa. I'm from Malawi, and I'm based in Windhoek, Namibia. I'd like to speak on the opportunity that we had to attend the Youth Connect Summit. In the beginning, before going, I was like, oh, okay, this is just a youth summit. But when I got there, it renewed my passion for working with the youth and for making a difference in Africa. I met like-minded youth. I met people that have the same goals and share the same passions as me. And it renewed my strength that I'm more willing to support African-based businesses. I am more willing to support any person that I would meet and say they attended this Youth Connect, or we connect at a certain level with this initiative. And that made me feel so excited, and I wanted to share that with you. And I wanted to let you know that I hope that in the next cohorts that the ladies are also allowed to go to summits like this so that they can, benefit from them as much as I did. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Ms. Ahunna. This is Grace, the Rwandan Country Office. Nice to see you again. I think for me, I'll take a bit of a drift. I think the past 6 months for me has been one which I have been more disciplined in terms of my physical health. In as much as the Rwandan Country Office has given me the opportunity to work on various things, which includes working on the Youth Connect preparations, other summits, also working on the green economy in Rwanda, I got the opportunity to have a team in the office which takes health and fitness very seriously. So at lunchtime, I would have my RR Max and other colleagues run in the sun. I don't normally run in the sun with them, but that actually motivated me such that every day at night, I go to the gym, and I can proudly say that for the past 6 months, I've actually lost 20 kilograms. And I've taken my health very, very seriously. And this has really impacted my mental health because I can think like really straight, if that's something I can say. So yeah, thank you very much for giving us opportunity to be in places where, in as much as we want to be career women, we can also take other aspects of our lives very seriously. Thank you.
Okay. Hello, Ahunna. My name is Pearl. I'm Nigerian and I'm stationed in Cape Verde. First of all, I want to say a huge thank you for starting up this program and allowing all of us to take advantage of opportunities within the UN system. This program has it's been great, but most of all, I think I've discovered things about myself that has enabled me to be resilient, to be creative, and just to be, amazing in my work. So yeah, thank you so much for starting up this program. You're a huge inspiration. And yeah, that's all I wanted to say. Thank you very much.
use that. Good morning, Ms. Ahunna. My name is Jemima Michael, and I am from Tanzania, but based in Accra, Ghana. So first, I'd like to thank UNDP and African Union for this opportunity. My experience is innovation and women entrepreneurs and youth entrepreneurs. So, and also it was my first time in West Africa. Living in West Africa. And the last 6 months have really helped me learn. I've worked with people of different values from mine. And the experience has really pushed me to be able to work with people from different backgrounds and experiences. And I've seen a lot of growth in that area. But one thing I also wanted to talk about is the Youth Connect, which was really transformational for me, and also very inspiring to see the commitment from the other young people, and also from government and organizations that see the potential of young people, and just the commitment that everyone is seeing on the young Africans and the continent in general. So I just wanted to say thank you for the opportunity, and it's such a learning experience for me. Thank you.
Okay, it's me. Sorry. Hello, Ms. Ahunna. My name is Mona Mustafa. I'm from Egypt and I'm based in Lao PTR. Thank you so much for the opportunity for your time today. If I had the chance to zoom out a little bit about what this fellowship means to me, and since for the last few months, and what does it mean for me personally, it has been a leap of faith in every sense. I have the chance to learn more about myself, about Asia, about Africa, about the world, about my dear sisters who come from diverse backgrounds, and how we manage it together as a group to bond. It means to me a lot. So thank you so much for supporting us, and thank you for giving us this opportunity. Thank you so much.
So good morning, Ms. Ahunna. So my name is Dominique Miegimniponi, and I am from Cameroon, but I'm based in Ivory Coast. I will just keep it short, just to let you know, just so you see how you impacted our lives. Back 2 years ago, I applied for to be a delegate to COP24 for climate change, and I wasn't selected. I was really devastated. And during this fellowship, I found myself hardly, like really substantively working in the organization of COP15 on desertification and drought in Ivory Coast. I even work on arranging the venue of Miss Usha in Ivory Coast. And that's really made me realize how sometimes we miss opportunities, but somehow we catch up on those opportunities later. So I just want to use that to really say thank you to you, because you've changed my life and my sisters here. And also that working in the country office made me realize how the work that we do really impacts other people's lives. And
as I see now, I just want to be an agent of that change and not a spectator. And I'm really grateful for this opportunity. And again, I just want to say thank you very much.
Good afternoon, Ms. Ahunna. My name is Tatenda Jobgo, and I am from Zimbabwe, but I am stationed at the Regional Service Center for Africa in the gender team. I want to say thank you. Just like my sisters have said, I think this has been an amazing opportunity for all of us, and particularly for me because I'm a lawyer, a human rights lawyer, and working in the Regional Service Center for Africa, the gender team, we're working on a lot of projects advocating for the law to be used as a tool to fight against oppression for the betterment of women. And it's just been such a pleasure to be surrounded by amazing minds who are constantly challenging the status quo and changing my perspectives on the law and how it can be used to make the world more just and more fair. Apart from the professional side, I do want to say thank you very much for allowing a group so diverse and so amazing to come together and to form a sisterhood. I think one of the major things for me throughout the last 6 months is having the knowledge that no matter what I do or no matter where I go, I will have these sisters that will be cheering me on and celebrating my successes with me and working through my difficulties with me. It has been such an unbelievable opportunity to get to know different cultures, to get to know people from different countries all over Africa. And I think it's made us richer people because of it. So thank you very much for this opportunity.
Hi, Madam Ahunna. Good morning. My name is Ayak. I am South Sudanese, and I'm currently based in the Djibouti country office. So some of my reflections have already been outlined by my sisters. We're just very, very grateful to you. This experience has been truly life-changing. It has been transformative. For me, in the Djibouti country office, it's a little bit of a unique situation because Djibouti is actually part of Arbas. So they report to the Arab Regional Bureau. So with that comes some sort of challenges that I've been going through. One of them was the language. So Djibouti is a Francophone language, it's a Francophone country. So I found myself being thrown in a context that I'm not very familiar with, but through it all, I've been able to overcome all of those obstacles. I currently hold a leadership role within the Djibouti country office. I lead the gender team and I lead the gender seal process. So before I came there, they didn't have a gender staff. So I've been appointed to be able to do that. So overall, I just want to thank you so much for this opportunity. Without you, this wouldn't have been possible. I found myself, I've been getting a lot of sort of messages from other South Sudanese because this is the very first time South Sudan, somebody from South Sudan is being represented within this cohort. So I've had young women from South Sudan reaching out to me, being inspired by my experiences. So I'm really grateful for this opportunity and that I'm able to inspire other South Sudanese, and hopefully within the next few cohorts, we will be able to see more representation from South Sudan. Thank you.
Good morning, Madam Ahunna. Thank you so much for giving us your time. I just want to say this fellowship for me has been an opportunity to strengthen and develop my leadership. And also it's been you've given us a seat on the table. I found myself in spaces that if not for this fellowship, I may not have been in there. And I think from the experience of my country office, which is Kenya, I have loved the fact that they have created room for me to be able to make decisions, to be able to be innovative. You know, they haven't always just given me something that is already cooked and say, give people to eat, but they've been able to give me ingredients and tell me, what can you make out of this? And for me, that experience has really empowered me. And after working with UNDP Kenya, I feel like I can work in any other organization because it's very diverse, it's very complex, and it's solution oriented, and you need to be innovative. So it has really helped me to stand out. And I believe even after this fellowship, anywhere I go, I'll be able to flourish. And the last thing is, I just want to say a very big thank you for being a believer in us. It's always great to know that someone out there believes in you. So thank you so much for believing in us, for believing in our potentials, for believing in our greatness. And as someone already said, we'll definitely make you proud, and we'll definitely make UNDP, the country offices we're working in, proud. So thank you so much for such a great opportunity.
Hello, Ms. Ahunna. This is Ghadir from Morocco, Tunisia, country office stationed. We have met before and talked before, but I just wanted to seize this opportunity to talk about the fact that what I appreciate about this fellowship the most is that I feel that it's the first occasion for all Africans to be together. As a North African, I've always felt a bit, separated. I've always sensed those differerousness that I did not necessarily appreciate. We were always considered to be it's the Arab state, but maybe it's a political, geographically we're in Africa, and my heart belongs in Africa. So every time I wanted to apply for a program, it was always Sub-Saharan Africa, but North Africa not included. And this opportunity, when I saw it and I read really well that it was African, I was extremely proud, because I thought to myself, wow, this is a chance for me to get to to know my continent and to feel my belonging to my continent, not because I'm considered Arab, because technically I'm not. I'm an Amazigh, and this is also, part of the identity talk we had. So I just want to thank you, and thank you for having this thought of having a united Africa, of focusing on everything that unites us instead of us being different. Because we have different hair, we have different colors, we have different backgrounds, but we have the sisterhood, and we realize through it that we actually have so much in common. Not only we are young and woman and African, as the title says, but we also have something that we share, and we have something in our hearts that unites us together. So thank you so much.
I think that that's an excellent ending. Is that okay for us to use Ghadir as this summarizer? Because we need to be conscious of your time, Ms. Ahunna. I think we are very aware of that. Would you like to finish it off, close it off with some words?
Yes, let me do that. Thank you so much. This was so refreshing. And of course, I wish I was there to just give each one of you a massive hug, because you all deserve it. I mean, you've been through the ringer, so to speak, and you have come out of it standing tall. And I know there are many more stories in the room, and I really look forward to hearing it. But let me start from where Ghadir stopped. One Africa, the symbolism of seeing the diversity of the continent in this room, seeing the different colors, the different shapes, the different heights, the sheer richness of the African culture, the African region, the African identity. It speaks for itself, and it speaks volumes just looking at you and the picture that you paint of a continent. So what do we do with this is my first question to you and my challenge to you. It's not every day, everywhere that you can achieve this sisterhood and this oneness and this sort of common platform and engagement and in this kind of cohort. And even in UNDP, it is a novel idea that we're able to bridge these different divides. So back to you. What do we do with this? How do we feature this? How do we celebrate this? I want to also, several of you made reference to Youth Connect and being there in Rwanda. I think you should thank Gadir, because it was in the conversation with her in the margins of Tikat in Tunis that we cooked this idea of all of you coming to Youth Connect, because I was her excitement to connect with the sisterhood was so infectious that I thought immediately, wouldn't Youth Connect be just an amazing platform for all of you to gather again, not just to have another training, but actually to be involved in a mega initiative of UNDP. So I'm really glad that it worked out and you're all there. You seem to have had a great opportunity to connect with that wide network of youth, many of them about your age, and to feel the buzz on the continent, because this is the generation of which you're made. I mean, the entire world today is in mourning. There is so much depression all around, so much insecurity and feelings of insecurity. And here in Africa, you feel a buzz, you feel life. You know, when you are amidst all these young people, you feel a spirit of resilience, of determination, that in spite of all of it, or despite all the bad news, we have hope and we can conquer. We stoop to conquer, as they say. And being part of that dynamic, I think hopefully gave you a boost to go and do what I know you can deliver on, which is the stubborn hope that and this resilience that we will come through as a continent, irrespective of what the rest of the world does. But more importantly, that Africa could lead the world to adopt a different pathway, a different civilization. And I think it was a human rights lawyer, Tatenda, that mentioned this idea of a fairer and a more just world. And if you look at everything that's happening around us, whether it's climate change or COVID or Ukraine, you see that at the heart of all of this is the denial of justice for everyone. It's that erosion of what it is that makes human civilization meaningful, which is equality and equal access for everyone. And this is your generation to really chart a new civilization, to recreate multilateralism, basically, because whatever we had was imperfect, and that's why it's diminishing and it's in decline and it's not delivering optimally for humanity. So you actually, I mean, it was Frantz Fanon that said every generation must, out of relative obscurantism, discover its mission and fulfill it. So as you are together as a cohort, as a sisterhood, and it's very deliberate that we made this a women's fellowship, because I believe that part of that answer, if not most of it, is going to come from women. The world right now is searching for solutions. And a big part of it is going to come from that demographic that was not always given a chance to think, a chance to create, a chance to bond, and a chance to speak. So you've got a voice now. One of you mentioned, this, like, you were given a seat at the table. You have more than a seat at the table. You've got ears that are listening to you, to that voice, which is so fresh, which is so authentic. There's the authenticity of your voice that I want you to focus on. Don't be a copycat. Don't copy anyone or anything, not even UNDP. Think about what's going to make you unique as a generation. That is a thinking generation, not just, doing and being busy out there, but actually that you are afforded the opportunity to think about everything that is happening around you today. This is the space that we create. Yes, you're all doing a lot in your different offices can be quite busy, but I hope that you are also finding time, that precious time, to think. What is it all about at the end of the day at a personal level? What is your purpose? What are you devoting your life to? And it may look like a very long life, but actually, as someone who has been on this earth and this journey for a long time, for longer than all of you, it's not that long. When I think about my 20s and my 30s, I'm like, that was like yesterday. It goes by very fast. So there is not a lot of time to dilly-dally. This is your moment. This is your best chance. And best chance to do what is what you would ask. Is this the only chance? No. But it's perhaps your best chance because of where you're at in your growth path. Your best chance to launch out into a path that really takes you way up there as an influencer in a world that is completely lost. A world, I've never experienced the world like this as we experience it today. Complete uncertainty and unsettledness. Even in the times of the Great Wars, I don't think we ever felt this deep sense of insecurity and the carpet being pulled from our feet. And my generation, I think we gained a lot, we achieved a lot, but we have left the world in a poorer state in terms of what actually makes humanity work and what makes the planet work. And we are leaving that burden in your hands to say, help the world recalibrate, help the world understand what life really should be about. It shouldn't be about the greed, the waste, the materialism. And this is why I believe Africa has so much to give, because we still have a certain level of cultural content and sanity that is linked to our belief and our understanding of life. And that authenticity, that message has to go from here to join international organizations, to join national organizations, to join civil society organizations. In each place where you go, you would have an opportunity to influence a new pathway, a new leadership for the world. And I think really crucial that you embrace everything you are learning. I'm glad that some of you reference the fact that this is teaching you so much about yourself and who you are. Because without that sense of self, it's very difficult to be resilient. It's very difficult to adapt. I'm glad that many of you use the word adaptability, flexibility, and compassion as well. You're learning what it means to give and to give unconditionally. This is such a big part of who we ought to be. And that life journey, learning those life skills is as important as learning the thematic areas where you're involved. I'm glad to see some of you, as expressed by Grace, doing so much also for yourselves in terms of personal well-being and discipline, physical and mental discipline, crucial for success anywhere in the world. So no excuses of we don't have time or our offices don't have the facilities. Challenge where you are. Be the one who leads the trail on the walk every morning or every lunchtime to have that physical discipline and mental discipline that gives you a much clearer head. So from personal journeys of learning about yourself, of learning about self-discipline and well-being, of learning a new language, of learning a new area completely, I think there's such richness, and that gives me confidence that we're right in terms of where we threw you. I think we've also picked up some lessons. Thank you to I think it was Priscilla, who gave a few lessons that you picked up in terms of what we need to do differently, what we need to do better. One that I picked up just listening to you is we have to throw you in the most unfamiliar conditions. So you come from Botswana, you shouldn't be serving in South Africa. That's too familiar. I think, this has to be difficult. It has to be challenging, because that's when you learn the most. It's really when you're thrown in a situation that you've never experienced before, that is most unfamiliar to you, when you're reduced to tears. When I got thrown into Sierra Leone in the middle of the war, and I found myself in my sort of little hotel room on the first night, and I thought, what have I done to myself? It was like desert land. You have to feel that sense of being in the desert. And I fell to my knees and wept. And it was the beginning of where I am today, right? It's like when that hand is dealt, you say, and one of you did say it, our fellow in Kenya, it's like you have a sense that there is nothing that I cannot do. There's nothing that is beyond me. If it doesn't challenge you, it's not going to change you. So my last words to you is walk towards the challenging. Always embrace what is most difficult, what is out of character for you. Don't shy away from tasks and challenges that are unfamiliar, that look unfamiliar. In fact, the more unfamiliar they look, the more you should ask for it, right? That gives you the versatility that you need, but also helps build your resilience. And always hang on to your faith. Someone mentioned that it's been a huge leap of faith. There is little that gets thrown at you that you cannot survive if you have that sense of faith. If you are in touch with that supernatural being that knows more than us, that knows everything, that is always certain when everything else around you is uncertain. I know that my faith has been instrumental, critical in getting me through all the hoops and loops. Friendships are important and the sisterhood is important, but trust me, there will be times when even those will not be enough. And you need to hang on to something bigger than yourself. So let me stop there and give you all a virtual big hug. And as you go back to your stations, you still have 6 months. I know it feels short, but make the most of it. Love you all.
Thank you so much, Regional Director. We really appreciate your time and your wise words. I think that the sisterhood will continue, but so will, running into fires to find all the challenges as well. We really appreciate you. Thank you so much. Okay, all right, everybody. So yeah, we're going to take 5 minutes, okay? By 5, we mean 5. All right, please come back in just 5 minutes where we've got